Pizza, pizza.
So I want to talk about the Oculus Quest just because I feel like it. And if you don't know what the Oculus Quest is, it's basically a VR solution to being more affordable and manageable for people who just don't have some or any of the expensive things that are required for an already expensive VR headset to function properly. Basically, VR porn is now affordable. God fucking help us all. VR gaming and anything related to VR has always been overly expensive, regardless of who you are. Everyone can agree, this shit don't seem to be worth $1,000 fucking dollars, you goddamn sociopaths. And the only people who don't see $1,000 VR headsets as piss shit expensive are potential murderers or murder robbery victims, okay? I mean, I'm not saying that I would stab a fool and steal all their shit, but I would. No, but honestly, money isn't the only problem that comes with wanting to own a VR headset, because you still have to have a good computer for it, and a big enough empty void of a fucking room to, have an optimal experience. Like, you would either have to have an oversized bedroom, or a spare empty fucking room in your house. And I mean, nowadays, VR headsets become less expensive, but as an everyday consumer, you really can't justify picking up a VR headset that is very expensive if you're only gonna casually play games on it sometimes. To me and many other people, I always saw it as an overpriced controller. Like one of these weird driving and racing games controllers, these weird things with a driving wheel and shit. And this kind of mindset is mostly aided by the fact that VR gaming just isn't there yet. And yeah, there are games that are close to doing that. The ones that usually come to mind are like Pavlov VR, VR Chat, and Tilt Brush. Well, I mean, VR porn also seems to do a good job. But yeah, the biggest problem that VR had is mostly that it wasn't as accessible as it is now with the Oculus Quest, which might not be perfect, but I'll take it, and with the expectation that it's one of the first of its kind, then you start to realize that it kinda does its job perfectly. Basically, it's your everyday headset, except now it's standalone, so no expensive PCs, cables, and most importantly, you can now play VR porn on your fucking bed comfortably, like, oh my god. The point is that it's now standalone, which transforms it from being a controller into basically being a console of its own. Like, how sick is that? This is literally the Wii 2.0 for me. And the biggest draw to this headset for me is the fact that every popular VR game is now here, ported and optimized specifically for this headset. So just because it's the first of its generation and it's low power doesn't mean that your experience is gonna suffer because of the hardware limitation, which is fucking sick. Plus, the fact that it's so mobile opens doors to completely different experiences, like fitness-focused VR games and VR porn on your bed. Yeah, I know this is literally just this generation's Wii, except it's a bit more expensive, but it's still worth it. Although I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical though. One thing that really bothers me about this is how it's using a Snapdragon 835, which is an older smartphone processor, and I'm assuming that the graphics processor would be the one that comes with the processor itself, which in that case would be an Adreno 540. Now, I don't really know much about these processors and how they vary in terms of performance, especially with gaming, but it bothers me that they didn't really come with a model that utilizes the latest Snapdragon 855, which I'm pretty sure is better, but I'm no expert. I don't know, I just feel like this is insanely important because it means that phones can be used to play VR games now. So now all we really need is to wait for one of these headsets where you put your phone in them and some controllers that have gyro sensors, and we're set to go. But zinga dumbass, you still need a developer support for this and a phone specifically designed for a purpose of playing VR games, and that means that Bluetooth and USB cables just aren't gonna do it. But it makes you realize that not only is this an already too good to be true deal, but that it can improve itself in so many ways. Like, yeah, I can definitely see a future for this where it becomes a norm while PC VR headsets can just suck a dick.
Pizza, pizza.